Hello guys, this is the third and last video that I'm making about the subject of the new experiment that I made. In this video I'll try to explain what Euler angles are and why I cannot use them in my sensors using a theoretical approach. So the first thing that we need to know about the Euler angles is that there are three angles: roll, pitch and yaw. The roll is the rotation in the x-axis. The pitch is the rotation in the y-axis, and the yaw is the position in it's the rotation in the z-axis. So theoretically, if I could know all the three angles, I could calculate the exact orientation of the sensor using the gravity axis as the reference. So as we learned in industrial robotics, we can use these matrices to represent the rotation in the three axes. So after digging the web for a while, I found this matrix. I did not did the mathematical calculations by hand. However, I trust this matrix to be correct because I've seen it in Telmo Rafeiro thesis, also seen it in industrial robotics and in several websites. So this basically is the overall rotation matrix, knowing all the three angles. In other words, this is the final matrix that we obtain after rearranging the three last matrices that I've shown you before. So the website that I found the previous matrix, I also found these three formulas that allow me to calculate the pitch, roll and yaw. And it is important to notice that we are using the arctangent, and the reason for this is that while the sino and cosino have a limited interval that we can use, for instance, we cannot do the arccosine of 1.2, it gives us error. However, in the arctangent we can do that, so it is a more solid approach to the angle calculations. However, it is important to know what these RZY or RZZ or RYX mean. So this next matrix will explain this. The values that we need in order to calculate the three angles that I spoke before are already sublimed. As we can see, we need RZX, RZY, RZZ, as well as RXX and RYX. So the RZX, RZY and RZZ are very easy to find. Basically, what this matrix is the relation between the world axis and the axis from our sensors. What I mean is the relationship between z and x, for instance, is the value that the x accelerometer measures of gravity, being gravity the z-axis. The same applies to y and z. The reason why we cannot calculate all the angles is because we do not have any constant force on the x-axis and on the y-axis of the overall world, as we are only using the gravity as a reference. Basically, what we need is just one more reference, one overall reference, in order for us to be able to calculate the third reference and use these five values that we need to calculate the previous angles. As you can see, yaw is the angle that we cannot measure, and if you remember the axis that I showed you a while ago, yaw was the rotation in the z-axis, and the z-axis represents the gravity, so it is impossible for the sensors to detect, at least using only the accelerometers, the amount of rotation that they had in the axis of the gravity. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys understood everything that I said. I hope I was clear enough for you. So if you guys have any suggestions on how I should approach this problem, I am more than welcome to hear it. Thank you guys.